Well, let's put some more technical, in fact, FNO trades on the table. Yogesh Mehta, the Vice President, Equity Advisory at Motilal Oswal, joins us. Good morning, Yogesh. Thank you very much for being with us. Do you have a Nifty trade or do you prefer stocks today?
Good morning, Lata. Both we will prefer because Nifty is consolidating between 100 points rally in last three sessions, 1100 to 10,000, 11,000. So I think it should remain in this range unless and until it breaks above 11,120. We may see 11,200 unless and until it will remain in this range. 1090 being a strong support. So we are opening at 1140 or 1040 odd. So it would be a buy on dips. On the stock specific front, we are running a few stocks on the strategy side with the long side, especially with first is Axis Bank. It has given a lifetime high closing first ever time around 733 levels, keeping a stop loss of 714. Target could be in the range of 765 to 770 level. Another one is UPL. It is not showing any sign of correction in any kind of a market, and now the mid caps are on a roar. We believe that it could be again a good long strategy from here. Current price is around 880-82 levels. Keeping a stop loss of 860. Target could be in the range of 920 to 25 levels. And the third one is Bajaj Auto. Though the auto pack is not moving and this is the laggard one, but yet on the technical front, technical setup, it is showing a strong sign of a bullish sign after a very long time. Current price is 2955. Target could be in the range of 3080 to 3100 levels, keeping a small stop loss of 2880.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for that, for joining us and giving us some FNO cues. Prakash Diwan also joins in to talk about some fundamentals of the market and individual stocks. Prakash, hi, good morning. This month is interesting. You know, the biggest monthly gainer so far has been Eicher Motors, a 10% uptick already. Yeah. And it's back close to the 22,000 level. Would you be looking to buy any of the auto stocks now?
Maybe only Eicher makes sense, Sonia. The other two-wheelers have had a good time. Bajaj has already seen a significant, up move since its results. And there was this disappointment that the results probably indicated, but they've probably, convinced the street that the market share improvement is going to, compensate for the lack of margins or whatever. Hero has done well. I think TVS I have found a bit expensive for the timing. So I think Eicher was the only one where the delta was significant in terms of what it had lost ground, and the response to the 650cc segment is also much better than what the market anticipated, slightly earlier. So I really wouldn't buy more out of any of the two-wheelers at this point.
Okay, by the way, this important information about China grounding this Boeing 737 MAX. Yesterday there was this really unfortunate crash of Ethiopian Airlines where all 157 passengers on board were killed. Now in India, of course, Jet Airways and SpiceJet both have this 737 MAX. Jet's 737 MAX is grounded like some of their planes, but SpiceJet is still currently operating about 13 of these. Of course, so far there's no move from India on that front, but that's a bit of a risk factor. Prakash, good morning. Your thoughts on aviation? It's so much happening here, so much news flow. Anything that you would want to buy or sell here?
No, I think so. This will actually end up working in favor of Indigo, because they're the only ones who have a fair amount of reliance on Airbus, and they've had their share of engine troubles as well, but they've got over that. And what's noticeable, Anuj, is that some of the key sectors, the profitable sectors, is where now Jet is losing ground and vacating space. So, and if Air India were to not take advantage of that, given their own set of constraints, I think Indigo gets into a very strong...
It's a walkover for Indigo.
Absolutely. And you see the prices, tickets have already, the fares have already gone up in a season which is not really so-called peak. And I think it's just going to be to their advantage. And if crude remains a little bit benign the way things are right now, you could see some very major improvement in Indigo's numbers vis-a-vis what you saw maybe a quarter back.
Okay, that's very important. Tragic, but it's to Indigo's advantage at this point in time. Before I come to you, Prakash, I wanted to ask if Ashwini is still with us. Ashwini, what's happening with RBL Bank? I mean, there was a massive move in that stock about in the past, 2 weeks or so. Is it still good to go? I think that's the move. It's almost dashing towards its previous highs.
See, Bank Nifty overall has had strong participation, plus Other private sector banks are also moving forward, but definitely this is outperforming, and I think the previous high was about 650. I think it should cross, but don't buy it here. Buy it after a 3-4 day type correction, because the moment you buy it from 650, it comes off 50 points. That's no point, but it's clearly showing that it's heading higher, and the previous correction is actually over.
Okay, but the reason why RBL Bank rallied on Friday was because on Thursday there was this strong buzz of a block deal happening at a lower price, and one of the funds selling a large stake. It's been, a big wealth generator, of course, RBL Bank, and when it reached its previous all-time high, there was this buzz that that block deal would happen on Friday, and a lot of people pressed some shorts on Thursday, and when that block didn't happen, that led to that short covering. Almost similar move happened on a couple of other stocks. One was ICICI Pru, and the other was Jubilant Foodwork. There also there was some buzz of stake sale that didn't happen, and you saw that move.
That big move in mid caps that you pointed out from February 19th. RBL turned on that day. It was 548, and now it is 638.
Yes.
So while what you say is true, that it got a leg up in the last week as well, it's been quite a huge tidal wave of a move that we've seen.
Okay, another rank outperformer has been Titan, of course, from the frontliners. I just wanted your thoughts on this, Prakash. I mean, it's gone from 800 to 1,050, almost 1,100 now over the past 6 months. In this consumption basket, is Titan your favorite, or do you like any other stocks?
No, I think the jewelry play is very difficult for other players to kind of match up and do anything which is similar or close to this. There is a little bit of salience in the traditional players like Thangamil and all of those, the south-based names. But I think given the broad-based product line that the product mix that Titan sits on and the kind of brand strength that it carries, I don't see anybody wanting to exit Titan in a hurry now. So that's one of the reasons why it keeps on getting into those premium valuations. Buy on dips is, of course, a better strategy, but even if you hold on to it, it's not something that you need to be worried, though it's kind of going to its 52-week highs, all-time highs. But I would not look at the other lesser names in this pack.
Okay. Well, we have lots more questions for you, Prakash. But here's another big voice who has been visiting India. Shireen Bhan caught up with Brian Moynihan, the CEO of Bank of America, and spoke about various current global economic and trade issues. Listen to his views.
The Fed had said that when they got to a range of 2.5% to 3.5%, that was the so-called neutral range, or they don't like to use that word sometimes, but basically that's what they mean. The idea was they'd stop and make sure that the data proved that they needed to continue to take the accommodation out. There's no signs of inflation. Wages are growing a little faster than people thought, and that'll be an interesting question down the road, but you're talking about relative differences of small. So I think the Fed did exactly what they said, which is to bring, once they got to the range, they were going to stop and take a picture every meeting, and as the data comes out, to make a decision. The overall interest rate structure is still very accommodative to growth. I think it's really, you got to come back to reciprocity. The words have changed over time, but reciprocity, in other words, fair access, open access, and there's a pretty good open access in India, and the current administration's even opened up more in terms of ownership of insurance companies going up higher and things. But that idea of being able to do business on equivalent terms for these large economies is important.
Let's do one thing. Let's take a short break. But on the other side of the break, we will have the pre-opening rates come through. Also, Udayan Mukherjee will join in with his take on the markets.